Hey everyone, how's everyone doing? Yeah? Now, I know a lot of monologues are usually full of comedy, but let's make this one factual. Revenge is a very complicated subject. We have on the show revenge portrayed in different types of media, including animation and television. I think the best part of analyzing revenge is that it is relatable. I'm sure many people in the audience here have had their own experience with revenge and can understand exactly what this show is going to be about. Frankly, I'm surprised this is still a show. But seriously, let's go over some basic examples of revenge. The roles of irrationality in it. In my movie called An Eye for an Eye, the topic is explored. Murder is the form of revenge. She kills the murderer in a very deceiving way that shows how angry she is. Gandhi's quote, "An eye for an eye only makes the world blind," completely portrays the bad part of revenge. Particularly, he's saying that revenge is going to cause more violence than necessary. But perhaps we only say this until someone close in our family is affected by the bad consequences of revenge. This is pretty much going to be the main discussion point for today. Now it's time for a couple of clips, just to get it started. This clip is going to show is from Tom and Jerry, and it shows the scene when Tom is going to hell. It's supposed to be a childish show, childlike show, but it's really political in the sense it shows our perception of revenge in the modern day.
In that time, you can obtain the signature of that little mouse on this certificate of forgiveness. You will be permitted to pass. Or if you fail, it's this. Let me have him! Send him down! Give him to me now! Remember, you have only an hour.
The next clip is going to be from my movie, and it shows the impact of revenge on a single individual.
Julie? Can I help you? Julie? What's happening? Julia! Can you phone the police for me, please? Please! Help
A
me!
random crime.
I won't hang up the phone! I'll stay on with you! Help me!
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being with us. You're watching Revenge in the Night, hosted by me, John Sklizinger. Being the director of my own movie called An Eye for an Eye, I have experience with this subject. It's a great pleasure to have you all with us. Of course, you could have been anywhere, but you're watching in the studio here and at home. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a wonderful show for you guys. Mike Kelly, the director of the famous television show Revenge, is here today, and William Hanna, the genius who created that famous show with the cat and the mouse, which we adore and cherish till this day, is here. We have to take a break, but we'll be back with our guests after this.
I've always preferred the cream part of an Oreo. That's crazy. The cookie's the best part. Cream. Cookie. Cream. Cookie. Cream. Cookie. Cream. Cookie. Cream. Cookie. I'm calling the cops. Cream. You guys have to stop fighting. We're the cops.
Choose your side on Instagram.
Thank you. Good evening, guys. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
So we have quite a range here in TV shows. Obviously, I directed my own movie particularly to do with revenge called An Eye for an Eye. Tell me and the audience first about the significance your television show has with the theme of revenge.
Thank you, John. My show Revenge really portrays the theme of this talk show. Well, essentially, I wanted to have this show to illustrate how people use revenge in their daily lives. The show focuses on the extent to how revenge affects people's relationships with other people, whether it is their family members, friends, or neighbors. Furthermore, revenge brings out a different side in people that makes this natural human emotion sometimes unpredictable, sometimes rash. Revenge takes a unique approach in this show.
Thanks, John. I really appreciate the input. The movie I directed is called An Eye for an Eye, and is also about the role of relationships and revenge, except it's slightly more direct. For anyone in the audience who hasn't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's basically about the journey for revenge when a mother hunts the rapist of her daughter, who gets violently raped. She kills the killer in the end, but this question provides some key questions about revenge. Is it right? Is it justifiable? One could argue that because the rapist's crime is so dramatic, it's necessary. However, others would argue revenge was just a show of irrationality. This is somewhat like your TV show, John. What do you have to say about this, William?
I think that is an interesting addition to bring Tom and Jerry into here. Though intended to be lighthearted and fun for the children, it can be thought of in a political way. Since we're discussing irrationality, let's analyze it in terms of that. We see Tom and Jerry engaged in a series of violent and irrational acts. Jerry plots against Tom, and Tom's revenge is very violent. However, he always tends to fail. This makes it seem that despite what we do in revenge, it will always turn out negative. Jerry represents a villain in a sense, rather than Tom. One can observe in many episodes that he tends to provoke Tom.
Sorry, William. We are talking about actual media here, not some petty animation series.
Haha, very funny. Like you would know what it is.
Let's try to stay in focus, guys. Please continue, William.
What was I saying? Oh yes, so despite looking like a childish show, there is actually a lot of symbolic meaning. I thought the episode where Tom is about to go to hell, and that he needs to cleanse himself. Tom does not seem like a villain in this episode, however, he needs to do good deeds. So in essence, it can be said that someone who plots against someone will most likely be seen as a villain.
Wow, I never thought a kids' show could be seen in so much light.
Revenge is also based on betrayal. For example, in my TV show Revenge, the people of Hamptons betray Amanda Clark. So in my opinion, revenge is not only based on irrationality, it starts with betrayal. Let me define betrayal to be sure, because it exists in so many different contexts. It is defined as a time when people who you trust loses your trust. This is when revenge will get the most violent, in my opinion. The people who we trust suddenly turn our back on us.
I think betrayal can exist in many senses. In my movie, or should I say the movie I directed, it could be the betrayal of society. Society represents a lot of different modes and mediums. For example, questions arise. How could someone perform a crime like the one in the movie? Doesn't anyone care? We'll be back after this short break.
I hate Mondays.
Yeah, they're the worst.
No worries, man. Everything will be alright. Yeah, man. Come on. Don't fret me, brother. Sticky bun comes soon. Yeah. Wicked coffee, Mr. Jim. Julia, turn the frown the other way around.
Hey, Dave, you're from Minnesota, right?
Yes, the land of 10,000 lakes. The Gopher State.
So in conclusion, things are pretty dismal.
You know what this room needs? A smile. Who wanna come with I? Traveling along, there's a song that we're singing. Come on, get happy.
You guys are 3 minutes late.
Don't be no cloud on a sunny day. Yeah, chill, Winston.
Sir?
Respect, bossman.
That's the power of German engineering.
I would briefly like to talk about betrayal as a subject. There are various times when Jerry lets the cat out of the bag and gets Tom in trouble. Though it is meant to amuse, it is quite cruel how sometimes betrayal can change someone's life. In my opinion, the very fragment of society is based on trust.
We finally agree for once. But going back to irrationality, it takes a complex route when you mix the motives of other people and the revenge seeker's mentality, which can be depicted in the show. The two characters, Emily and Victoria, are both evil and manipulative, which can be linked to other characters that we have seen in female-based revenge movies in class. Emily proceeds with her revenge by connecting with Victoria's son Daniel in order to get revenge from within, the emotions. However, this is where revenge gets irrational, for Emily, as a result, has an internal conflict with her own emotions.
Karen in my movie exemplifies this irrationality with her actions. Thank you, everyone. It has been the most amazing discussion. I would like to thank my guests. I'll see you all again soon. Thanks.